I see people do this all the time, and it's super, super frustrating, especially when you're trying to coach them through it of like, this I don't think is going to work for this song.
It is very, very dangerous. You don't like it because it doesn't feel like that original demo.
You're just afraid of what other people are going to perceive your music as.
It's not going to resonate with everyone, so you have to let go of your vision of everybody ever loving your song.
Welcome to the Alex and Andrew podcast, where we share tips, tricks, and strategies to make your mixes the best mixes of your life. Today, we want to talk about demo love and how you're brainwashing your ears into loving a lesser version of your song, and it's holding you back from making the music sound the way it deserves to sound. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing great, Andrew. It's so great to see you. I'm pumped to talk about this topic because I think it's something that I've seen time and time again, and it's honestly very sad when it's not overcome. But if you can kind of get over this initial version of the song that you're stuck with and that you love so much, but you can't see beyond, if you can get beyond that, there are crazy results to be had. I don't know if you'd, I'm sure you'd agree with that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So, The term demo love is actually really, really interesting to me. You're the one that actually kind of like introduced me to that, and I love that so much. So like, let's talk about what exactly is demo love, and then we'll talk into how, if you know you have it or have symptoms of demo love.
Symptoms of demo love. Yeah. So what demo love means, I didn't coin this term, but I can't tell you where I got it from. But essentially what it means is that the very first version of the song is, no matter how many more versions, no matter whether a producer makes it or a mix engineer mixes it, you always find yourself saying like, can it sound more like the demo? Or I think it should sound more like the demo. So these are like some symptoms. Like, are you saying, can it sound more like the demo? I think I preferred the demo better. And this is what demo love is. It's even when a new version of your song is made, even if it's better. That's the most important part. Like, of course, if a worse version is made, like, we get it. The demo's probably better. but even if there's a better version made from like if a brand new pair of ears listened to the demo and the new version, and the brand new pair of ears is going to say, the new version sounds better, the song's more developed, it's a stronger song, it's a stronger production. Even with that, you as the original creator still prefer the demo. That's demo love. And demo love can be very, very damaging. And in the rare cases, it can serve the song, of course, if the demo is actually better. But you really need to be careful about filtering that, because a lot of the times it can create as very, very sad circumstances where maybe the song never gets released, it never gets heard because you're never satisfied with the finished product. It can create dissonance between the opinions of maybe the artist and the opinions of professionals that maybe actually know what's best for the song in terms of making it its best version. And it can create all sorts of problems. So I think if in this episode we can just kind of demolish the belief system that keeps people stuck in demo love, then the sky's the limit in terms of how good the song can be. So, yeah, Andrew, would you have any other take on the definition of demo love?
As far as that goes, I think you nailed that. If you're holding on to a lesser version of your song because you're scared of making changes to it, or you feel like the changes that you're making to it isn't making it better, you might need to get a second set of ears in there to really tell. But demo love is just loving that original idea so much, and you're scared to let it go, or you're scared to make changes. There's a really good thing. Really awesome thing I heard in video editing. Video editors talk about this, but we could take it from them, where they say murder your darlings, where even though you recorded all of this beautiful footage, sometimes it doesn't serve the overall video well. Sometimes you're making that documentary, and even though you got these really cool shots of the waves or something like that, and sometimes you have to to murder your darlings to actually make the overall project better. And so sometimes when you have demo love, you're holding on to these ideas that you really, really like that aren't serving that specific song. And sometimes you have to murder those darlings in order to have a better overall song. And you could still use those ideas in other songs. I see people do this all the time, and it's super, super frustrating, especially when you're trying to coach them through it of like, hey, look, this I don't think is going to work for this song. And lots of people are going to say this section is not going to work for the song. Even though it's a really good idea, it's not a good idea for this. So if you're too tightly held to your ideas of that original pass through, that original songwriting session, that original demo, you probably have demo love. So now let's talk about some symptoms, how you know if you have it. A lot of you are probably like, yeah, I know somebody like this, but it's not me. Well, we're going to go through the symptoms of whether you have it or not, and I'm sure you guys will resonate with some of these, because I definitely have resonated with these.
So the first symptom would be one that we mentioned a moment ago. It's like using language like, can it sound more like the demo? I think I like the demo better. I'm not sure why. I just like the demo. Stuff like that. So that's maybe a symptom number one is, do you find yourself resorting always back to the demo? Another one is not dropping, not just dropping songs, like meaning you never get the song out. You aren't able to release music because you just feel like the final version, it's just not right. Something's not right about it. I got to go back again. We got to go back. I think we got to scrap this and start fresh. We got to go back to the demo, maybe try a different direction with it, a different approach. And then years go by, months go by, years go by, and you still just haven't got the song out because you're stuck in kind of this demo love, and you're not able. The demo is the demo, and because the newest version doesn't sound like the demo. Oh my gosh, man! I don't want to go on a tangent here, but here's a maybe not a symptom, but a cause of demo love, and it is very, very dangerous. If you take, let's say you make a demo of your song, meaning like, you program a few basic drums, you play a couple demo guitars, have a piano loop, and you sing a scratch vocal. And then you bounce that file and you take it on your phone and you listen to it 100 times, 200 times. If you listen to it too many times, even though that wasn't the most carefully thought out production that serves the song, just because you've heard it so many times, you put yourself in a trance that you love it just like that. And so then when the producer goes to make the version of the song and changes things about the arrangement that feel right from an experienced producer's perspective, you don't like it because it doesn't feel like that original demo, even though maybe this new production actually serves the song much better. So be very, very careful in listening too many times to your original version, because that can be a cause and then, of course, lead to these symptoms. Do we have a couple other symptoms, Andrew?
Yeah, so
how do you know you have demo love?
I love that. Yeah, that's actually like that would actually be like a lagging indicator of demo love, where it's like if you're listening to the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and it's not released, that's a problem, and you'll start to love that thing. Now, if you are reopening old projects just to tweak a couple things, and then you close it and leave it for another month or year, you got demo love. You got problems. You need to actually be able to finish that song and get it out there.
Yeah, and gotta say it bluntly sometimes too. It's like just coming back to the same session over and over and over. Final mix _final version 37 final. It's like
you might need to just you might need to pick one and then just continue on with it and move on. If you're holding on to that original demo, that's the demo love. Another symptom that you have demo love is you have shiny object syndrome with gears, plugins, and you feel like that's what you're missing. And you just keep going back to the demo, trying new things, trying experimenting things. You got a new plugin, so now you're going to reopen the demo and see if you can make that demo the final mix, and then you just close the session again and you move on. And you haven't released another song for month over month over month. You're just holding on to that original idea way too much, and you're scared of actually releasing that music out to the world.
Another symptom of demo love is you you send this version of the song that you love so much that isn't done yet, but it's the one that, it's your demo. And you send it out to maybe a mentor or someone with more experience, maybe a producer, and you ask for honest criticism. And you can't take the criticism because it conflicts with the original demo. And so you can't see beyond that demo to the higher version of the song, and you just can't break through. So if you notice, you really can't take criticism or feedback on the song. You might be stuck in a lesser version of the song. Of course, like, you got to vet where the criticism's coming from. If you're very experienced in making music and listening to this, and the criticism comes from, like a younger sibling who's never played music, like, it could just be, it's not all criticism. But if you send it out to a producer you trust, a mentor you trust in the music industry, and they say, hey, like, highly recommend you tweak this, or maybe this section you got to scrap it, for example. If you find yourself saying, no, I love it the way it is, it's right the way it is, that's demo love. Stepping back and saying, okay, maybe they're right. Let me just look at it and reanalyze this. Like, this is how you're going to get the best possible songs, the best productions, and all this applies to the production process, the songwriting process, mixing. Like, it applies in every single stage. So, taking criticism, how you react to that criticism.
That's a big one. If you are getting offended by the criticism, and it is constructive criticism, it's not just, the generic criticism that you're actually, like, somebody is like trying to talk down on you or anything like that. Yeah. If this is constructive criticism, or they're actually trying to help you with this, if you feel a personal attack, it's because you've wrapped up your identity in that demo. You've loved that demo. You've wrapped your identity in it, and when somebody is breaking apart your demo and your song and your piece of art, and they're trying to actually help you make it better, if you feel personally attacked, it's because you feel like they're attacking your identity, not just the song itself. You've wrapped your identity up in that original idea, and that's a problem. And you want to make sure that, like, next time you feel that, you could slow down and think and say, hey, why am I feeling this way? Oh, I probably have a little bit of demo love that I need to work through. And so, like, especially when it comes to taking criticism, I like to do the 3 M's. I teach all my students the 3 M's. You want to talk to mom. So if you have a mom figure who's always going to give you good advice. The reason why I say this is because you just need enough encouragement to keep going. Then you want to talk to someone who's a mutual friend, somebody whose music taste you trust, but not necessarily somebody who's like a real good friend of yours that, like, is not going to tell you the truth. You want to make sure that you're going to get somebody who's going to tell you the truth, a mutual friend of yours, somebody who's like a bit agnostic to how you, like, what you do with music. And then you want to talk to a master. You want to have those 3. And if there's anything that aligns in those 3, like if mom, mentor, and master is telling you that the vocals need turned up, you probably should turn the vocals up. If all 3 people are telling you the same thing, and even if 2 of the 3 people are telling you the same thing, you might want to look back into what's going on in your demo. And you need to be able to take that constructive criticism well, as long as it is constructive and not just general criticism going against you, because you will come into that. People will have things against your music. It's just going to be there.
Exactly. And there's an opposite side to this, right, Andrew, where that constructive criticism, then you do take it, but it creates fear. So how could that kind of also be something that plays into ending up not getting the music out?
That's a big one too. With constructive criticism, you need to be able to take it well. But if you take everything as criticism, or you take everything like it's gold, you should be taking the advice, but not necessarily doing what everybody's telling you to do. And if that's holding you back and is keeping this fear of, like, your song's going to get ruined if you keep working on it, or allow somebody else to work on it too. If you've written the song, produced the song, and you send it out to a mixing engineer, and then you get it back, and somebody who is advice you really don't even care about says something about the snare drum, for example, and you go back to the mix engineer and say, hey, this needs tweaked and this needs tweaked, but you really don't believe that. You're just afraid of what other people are going to perceive your music as. And then that's just another form of demo love, where you're just holding on to that so much. And then you're afraid that if you release it, somebody says something against it, and then it just all falls apart. And then you keep it stashed away in a hard drive.
So in that version of demo love, it's not demo love as in I'm obsessed with this one particular MP3 or WAV file of the song and can't move beyond this exact way that it sounds. It's like I'm obsessed with the idea of my song being perfect for every single person ever to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And that's its own version of demo love. It's not like the demo file. It's like I have an obsession with my idea of my vision of this song being right for everybody, you know?
Yes.
And
I love that.
so that's another version of it's like demo love / my vision of the song resonating with every single person on the planet ever.
I
It's
love
just
the
not
way you
going to.
articulated that. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I hope that I hope I said that in a way that makes sense. But it's just like some like music is subjective. So there are going to be people who like think of all the songs you've listened to, or your friend shows you a song and you just can't get into it, or it's just like, you know, some mix engineers love to use a ton of distortion and saturation and everything just sounds like crunchy, and then others like really smooth, like soft, transparent sound, like, or some mixes punch your drums, and of course it's like serving the song, but like if you give a song to different mix engineers, they will mix it differently based on their style as a mix engineer. And it's like everything comes down to preference. So no matter what you do with your song and how it turns out, it's not going to resonate with everyone. So you have to let go of the demo love of your vision of everybody ever loving your song.
Yes, I absolutely love that. It's there's one thing I think this is going to help a ton of people, especially in the creative field, musicians.
Yeah, let's hear it.
There's two different types of imposter syndrome, and I like to call it like type 1 and type 2 imposter syndrome. I can't remember where I heard this from, but it's super powerful. Type 1 imposter syndrome is the whole concept of imposter syndrome is I feel like I'm an imposter. I'm not good enough. And type 1 of imposter syndrome is you aren't. Like, you are telling people something that you are not. Like, if you are like, yeah, I'm a 3-time Grammy Award-winning mix engineer, and you haven't won a Grammy at all, you deserve to feel that imposter syndrome when you tell people those things. It's because you haven't done the things you're telling people you're doing. That's type 1 imposter syndrome, and I feel like everybody knows that. But type 2 imposter syndrome is when you don't believe who you actually are. And this is where you are having an identity crisis with yourself. Like, Alex, you've won awards, and I very rarely hear you talk about it, right? But, like, when you do talk about it, you're like, yeah, I did these things. It's not like you try to, like, push them off to the side or anything like that. Or like, no, I didn't deserve that award. You deserved it. You got that award. And you earned it. That right there is that imposter syndrome. You want to make sure that you're not, like, when you have done incredible things and you are writing incredible music and other people are telling you that it's incredible and you're still saying, I don't know, man, I don't know, I don't think it's good enough, you need to release it. You need to let the world hear it. You need to let the world hear your music. So those are the two types of imposter syndrome, and you want to make sure that, like, if you're having either one, you need to make sure that you're adjusting your actions accordingly.
Man, this whole topic, and thank you for putting that point out there. Yeah, I appreciate what you have to say, man. This whole topic just all boils down to limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like limiting beliefs are holding you back, keeping you stuck in like the same song and the same cycle of thinking that will not let your songs evolve, might keep you stuck with some vision of yourself that isn't truly you, or an imposter version of yourself. It's just like, it's so important to be able to just identify that this is existing, and then once you pinpoint it and see like, oh, this could be something I'm doing, then you can cure it. So how can we cure demo love?
All right, so I love this. So the cure to demo love is to remember that you will always get better. That's part of the journey. Don't let your future skill hold your current art back. You need to be able to release your music and allow other people to come in and work on your music and help you release it as well. If you're hiring a mix engineer or mastering engineer and you're saying, I want it to sound more like the demo, that becomes a problem, and you need to let other people and other people's skill allow your music to flourish. You will get better. That's the whole journey. Every song you write will get better and better and better, and you need to just get that music out there. Don't hold so tight to that demo and never let it go.
Yeah, it's the same with everything. It's like YouTubers. You can go to some of the biggest YouTubers out there and scroll all the way to the beginning to their first videos.
Yes.
And it'll say like, 8 years ago or 9 years ago. And it's like a grainy video with the worst audio. And it's like, and it was still good content in its own way, and it's part of the journey. Like go find one of your favorite bands on Spotify or favorite artists. Go to their discography of music and scroll all the way to the beginning. And for a lot of these artists, the first songs they put out, it sounds like, hey, that sounds like maybe a home recording or like a local small studio kind of recording type of thing. It's not 100% polished, and that's okay because it's the first record.
Yes.
And it's part of the journey. And people like that, Like
they do.
It's okay to accept, get to this version of your song, get it mixed as best you can, and when it's at a point to be ready to go out, accept that, you don't always have to make it better and better and better, and going back to the demo and starting over, starting fresh. Like, music can get to a point where it's ready to put it out, and then you're not letting this vision of what it could sound like or what it should sound like, it doesn't hold you back anymore, because you accept, like, this is what the song has evolved to, and now it's time. Like, if you're coming back to it month after month after month, like, you're in a version of Demo Love, or just not being able to move forward. We always have to keep moving forward.
Yes, I love that. Another cure to Demo Love, and I think this goes in, like in stages. You have to do like almost all of these things, but you want to break out of your comfort zone into new inspiring ideas. And the way I like to think of this is like inspiring ideas are just beyond your consciousness. Hence the term like inspiring. They are inspiring. They are they are just beyond what you're able to achieve. And then once you get an inspiring idea, it inspires you because it just lifted that ceiling for you. You want to push yourself out of that comfort zone. In a way, a great way to push yourself out of that comfort zone is to trust the people you're working with when they make changes, and almost everybody can say this is objectively better. You trust those people. Break out of that comfort zone. You got to feel a little uncomfortable, and you will get into inspiring ideas. It will inspire you to make better music. You got to trust the people that you're working with and trust the creative process.
I love that, man. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning of the creative process. Like songwriting, look at the songs. If you've ever done like co-writing, look at some of the results from that. It's incredible when you collaborate, because if you're writing a song completely on your own, and like, it can be done, but a lot of the times there's something that, if you have an idea, there's something that maybe someone else sees that is inspired by that idea, that without your idea, it wouldn't have existed, but also they can see one step further and deeper into the idea than you, and they can evolve your lyric or your line to make it even better. So you have the initial idea, which is like a good stepping stone, and then someone else in that songwriting session it triggers something in them. They're inspired, and they can take it one step further and make it even better, and then together that can go into the song. Versus if you're just writing it alone, sometimes you think that very first idea is gold and you hold on to it, and it's like, okay, that's the line, that's what it is, and it's in ink, it's official. Versus like surrounding yourself, putting yourself in out of your comfort zone, for example, into a co-writing session with other people, right? Other people in the room, but they're going to bring out those ideas, and you're inspiring each other. Someone else has an idea, you can build on it. Like, so it's expanding your consciousness. And it's like, that's that same thing. It's like, as soon as you work with other people, you're breaking out of that Demo Love system, making better songs. And then you just got to release the songs, because the world deserves to hear it, right?
I couldn't agree more. Just release it. The world deserves to hear your music.
It really does. It really does. And it all boils down to getting that music out there, breaking through these limiting beliefs. And speaking of limiting beliefs, Andrew and I have been working on just an absolutely, we like to think, incredible bonus episode just for our listeners that we're super, super excited to share with you guys. It goes deeper than any episode we've created. We've been working on this for months, to be honest.
Months at least.
Yes, and by the time this podcast is out, this bonus episode will be live and accessible to you. If you wouldn't mind doing us a small favor of just leaving a review for our podcast, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, whether it's Spotify or Apple, or wherever you can, Podcast Addict, for example, anywhere that you can drop a review for us, take a screenshot of that review. Email it to alexandandrewpodcast@gmail.com, and we are going to send you your super special access link to this bonus episode that we've been working on for a long time. And that episode is all in on getting to the core of these limiting beliefs. We're extremely excited about it, and we really, really would love for you to check it out. So if you wouldn't mind doing us that small favor, leaving a review, and we will get you your special access link to that episode. That's the next step here. So Andrew, anything else to add? Demo love?
I think that we couldn't have made it any more clear. Don't hold on to your demos. Allow other people and allow yourself to make your music better. And don't hold on to the original idea like it's cool. That original idea is a stepping stone into better ideas.
Amazing, man. Well, our friends, if you enjoy this, make sure to leave us that review. Send us a screenshot for that bonus episode. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend that also enjoys music production, songwriting, mixing, engineering. We are here to serve you guys and help just everyone make better music. So with that, go create happy songwriting.